Sable, could you bring me my pipe tool? All right, hello. Welcome to Ask an Old GM. I am an old GM. There, that's my intro. I've been a GM for since longer than most of the gamers around today have been alive. Um, and I'm here to answer your questions. Okay, leave a message for Sable. Hey, Darth Nicholas, how you doing? You actually watched for a few today. That's awesome. Thanks, babe. I'm sorry, I just don't have my mic on. Say hi.
Hi, guys.
I'm good. Kids are settled in school. I think 2 of them are working on their short stories, maybe 3. Okay. Gonna have them in Nano, are you? Gonna have them all doing Nano for their English assignments? Yep, that's awesome. They got special support groups for students and stuff and young people who are doing Nano. I don't know if you've heard of them or are involved with them, Nick, but they're pretty good. Yeah, nice. So you like the music today, Sable? This is Lair of the Siren. That's a good idea, yeah. Yeah, test them out. Yeah, exactly. This is your first year of homeschooling, Nick? I mean, like, from the COVID stuff at the end of the last year? Yeah, likewise. You need help encouraging your kids to write. Let me know. I did it last year, and I actually did it. Yeah, yeah. I was gonna say, so you really have no idea where they are in their writing. Yeah, it was my first year last year, and I actually won a winner certificate and everything. That's cool, right? Sable and is planning on doing a stream every day that I'm not streaming, and I plan on doing nano streams on the days I am streaming. So, uh, there will be lots of nano going on. Nano, nano. Oh, you'll finish this year, Nick. We'll be all behind you, and the support is incredible in our little group here. Like, you know, I have to say, like, I never felt so supported as my first year of Nano. How's my own people? Like, how do I sound? Okay, good. And hello to all the lurkers out there. Yeah, that's what's gotten me to get more serious about my writing too. Actually, is you know support. I need a new earpiece though to do it. So that's what I'm buying this month when my check gets here. New earpiece. Can spend for a reasonably good one this time. Oh yeah, where's the new ASC logo? Do you have that in your stuff there? Yeah, that's generally a bad idea there. Where do you have it located, the AFC? Not in there, obviously. What am I doing in there? Project. No. I don't think I have access to the directory that you have it saved in there, Sable. Not on this computer, I don't. Maybe if I go online, let's try that. Dropbox. Where the hell are you? Dropbox not even loaded. That's stupid. It won't load. Yeah, I'm fuck with this right now. Leave it alone. Macaro, how you doing, my friend? Okay, Nick. Well, having never played, how much have you read? You're horribly multitasking. You know they've proven that's impossible, right? You can't multitask. Brain just doesn't do it. You just end up doing two things one after another, and neither one very good. You're far better off concentrating on one task, getting that one task finished, and then moving on to the next task. Yeah, I say as I do 100 things at once. As I'm streaming and trying to change my backgrounds, and yeah, no. They do say you're better for that, but we're monkeys. Monkeys like doing things at once. Layer and double streaming. Okay. I had a lot of fun digging layers in Minecraft. I built an entire uh, castle underwater out of glass. Yeah, it was hard to do too because I had to do it by filling it in and You go down underwater and throw up a bunch of glass area in the area that you want to build in, and then cut out the middle of it. It took me forever, but I built a huge castle underwater. And then I had my nephew put a bunch of automatic stuff in it, like bullet train and stuff like that. Oh yeah. Okay. Try to get some help with some division real quick. I've read a fair amount from the different books over the years. I just tend to get lost in the rules part. That's the wonderful thing about the storyteller system. Rules are really secondary in that system. Like, if it sounds good to you, go with it, is basically the rule of thumb with that. Right? Basically, anytime you want action done, you pair an attribute with an ability, right? Or a trait with an ability, or a trait with an attribute, right? And then you roll many dice, and you set the difficulty based on the difficulty of the action, right? I really like for the storytelling system for that, but that doesn't set the difficulty of the die roll. The die roll difficulty is always 7, right? The difficulty sets the number of successes that you need to get in order to succeed, right? And so, yeah, just does better, right? But basically, you just go with pairing two things together that seem logical to you, even if that's something like willpower and blood pool. If that, in the case, seems logical to you, just put them. Right? Willpower and humanity. Right? You know? But Sable's absolutely right. The books are arranged stupidly. Right? In the old vampire books. I don't know about 5th edition or anything like that. That's just up to the storyteller. Basically, okay, in the storyteller system, that basically 6 is an average difficulty, right? If it's higher than 6, it means that it's tough. If it's lower than 6, it means that it's easy, right? And that's for the reason that, right, on 1d10, your average is 5.5, which you round up to 6, right? You're just as likely to roll 5 or 6 as your uh, as the common numbers to roll, right? So, right. The greatest rule of thumb is, are you having fun? Is everybody having fun? Right? And that's the biggest thing, right? If everybody's having fun, the hell with the rules. Yeah, Sable's right there, right? If you're gonna like make it so that they need multiple successes to require it to succeed, right? Means that people with small dice pools just can't do it, right? That's the difference between raising the difficulty and raising the dice pool required. So you gotta sort of gauge in your head, is something that somebody with two dice could do. You know, is it a spell that the um, addle-brained henchman of the Tremere could cast, right? With his one intelligence and one willpower, right? You know, if it is, then obviously want to. If you say he could do it with difficulty, you obviously want it to be one successive high difficulty. If you say he couldn't do it, it's not hard, but he doesn't have the knowledge to do it, then you want more successes, right? You know, no matter what, without looking it up, right? Just going by your own brain, you cannot make a trifle. You can't, right? You have to have learned what's in it first, right? That's the difference between higher dice pools required and knowledge, right? Anybody can, I don't know, boil a can of peas. They don't need instructions to do it, right? Not everybody can make a trifle. Or even better, not everybody can make casserole. That's a simple thing to make, but requires more dice pool, right? Maybe two dice pool to make a casserole, or three successes. And it might be simple, like they're making a tuna casserole, maybe you need three successes of four. Just means if you don't have three dice pool, or at least roll a 10 on one die, you can't do it, right? You know, you just don't have the knowledge to make a casserole. Yeah, as Sable says, they do have some standard rules for combat and contested roles, but they can be flexible too. And they can. They really can. Like, you know, the one thing I know about you, Nick, is that you're actually got a fairly good head on your shoulders, right? And you're fairly good with the numbers. You're fairly good with the math. So go with your gut. I say go with your gut. If your gut says we should do it this way, yeah, that's what you do. Right? If there's any specific rules that are confusing you, let me know and I'll see if I can translate them into plain English for you. The dice pool is just stuff from the character sheets, but you can add bonus dice or take away dice based on circumstances too, right? Just as you can raise the successes and the number of successes required and stuff like that, right? You can also add or subtract dice pool. You can say you have to make a dex melee check, but because you're not familiar with Hunga, right, you get 2 less melee dice, right? Or you can say because you're not familiar with it, it's actually difficulty 8 to hit instead of 6, right? You know, so you can give that, or you can say the person who took melee and specialized in Naginata, well, you happen to be using your Naginata, so you get an extra die on your dice pool, right? And the dice pool is determined basically by the attributes and the ability. You mix two things, basically, right? Usually. Sometimes it's just one thing, especially if the dice pool goes up to 10 normally. You may have to roll that on your own, like willpower or humanity, right? Sometimes you have to make rolls of those on your own, right? Just roll your humanity or roll your willpower, right? And, but oftentimes it's mixed with something else. Like you'll roll something like um, your uh, charisma plus etiquette plus generation, right? If you're dealing with an elder, right? And the elder is going to resist with his generation. So whatever die roll that he gets to make, he adds generation to. Generation is as done as a background, a number of dots. You start with 13, and if you add up to 5 dots, you're 8th generation, right? Well, if he is 4th generation, right, he adds the 4 dots to that, so he has 9 dots, right? And therefore, when he resists you, where his generation counts. Hey, Stretch, how you doing, buddy? So yeah, that's what I say. Like, just go with your gut, because it's going to make it the funnest. That's what I always have done, right? Because I'm good enough with math that I can go, okay, I can crunch a little number here, right? Yeah, I don't have my stream timer on this yet, I don't think. Let me see. Timer. Okay, no. My timer's not working. I have to fix that later. Fix it later. Do not fix well. What the hell's wrong with you? Alright, there you go. Do not fix while in stream. Hi again, Macaro. Oh, you can hide the damn stretch. Oh, never mind. Forget I said anything. Yeah, I hear you, man. I hear you, Nick. You know, those rules were set for, like, I don't know, Malkavians. Malkavians read those rules and make sense. Newisha read those rules and it makes sense. Right? I just happen to smell Malkavian and Newisha. Okay, where are you off to, babe? Oh, right, yeah, to your mom's. I forgot, yeah. Okay, well, try to have fun and try not to kill your mother. So, any other questions there, Nick, that you have? Like, I can help you with trying to decide this code? That's what's wrong with this. How would I determine a hit die for a monster? It depends on the monster, right? Okay, give me the basics of what you've got for this monster so far, right? First of all, how big is it? If you don't know the actual size category, compare it to something on Earth. Is it as big as an elephant? Is it as small as a mouse? Sure. Post a link. Yeah, absolutely. I'll run it right up here and we'll take a look at it. No worries. Okay, jazz time. Smooth. Okay, showcase or critique. Let's take a look. Take a look. See. Ah, I got a 404. Nasty little vescoppuses. They're not public. Ah, okay. Nick, if you want some help with campaigns you're on, just hit me up on Discord and I'll let you know, and I'll help with whatever I can there. Yeah. Okay, and I shall try it again now. And do I have it? Do I? Yes, I do. Sewer Limus. Limus? Limus. Okay. Okay, does negative dexterity not take off your armor class? I don't know about that in 5th edition. This save, do you make this save every round for 1d4 rounds? Or does this 1d10 and 1d4 damage happen each round for 1d4 rounds? This is not clear here. Yeah, what I want to know is to lose 1d10 hit points from acid damage every round for 1d4 rounds too? Okay. Let me see here. Put a comma here. in between there, an Oxford comma, and it separates the ideas, right? Then it reads, will suffer 1d10 acid and 1d4 poison damage, and is sickened for 1d4 rounds. So such as touch attacks and uh, I'm not exactly familiar with 5th edition in that part. Ah, I was asking, is there such a thing as a touch attack, a ranged touch attack in 5th edition? Oh, okay. No touch AC at 5e. Okay. So the other thing to ask you is they're pretty. Well, Jesus Christ! Don't open that stupid program. What am I doing? Open the program by accident. Just give me a second. Close. Thank you. Close. Oh, okay. I'm back on. How long was I out for? Oh, shit. Okay. So 30 seconds to a minute. Okay. Yeah, I was just saying. I take it that these creatures are pretty bad at. Uh, right. I was saying that they get +1 attack bonus from their hit dice, but they lose that due to their negative dex. So they spit acid, but they don't hit very often, right? Um, and is there no way to bypass armor in 5th edition? Because it doesn't make sense to me that things like acid would require them to hit your armor class, right? If that's the case, wouldn't that just require a dex save by them to avoid the acid spray, right? Because it would seem to me that armor would hinder you in that. Well, what I would do, Okay, I take it as less of a spit really than a squeeze out a blob of acid at high velocities. It's true that it might have to get through the armor before getting on the skin. It depends how viscous is it. I mean, like how thick is it? This acid that it spits at you, right? Like, is it a blob that you could hold in your hand if the acid wouldn't hit you, like a ball of snot? Or is it like thin, like, I don't know, engine oil? I suppose I should have probably said ambergris, not snot, but that's thick oil, yeah. Okay, that's what I was thinking. Or like maple syrup or something, or molasses. Yeah, yeah, that you're talking about that slime stuff that you used to be able to buy for kids. Maple syrup. Okay. All right. In that case, they wouldn't have to get through your armor. That thing comes out there with enough velocity to fly 10 meters. Right? Like, yeah, yeah. 10 meters is just going to pellet through your armor. Right? So I think a dex save would be more appropriate there. Or, yeah, a dex save I think is the most appropriate. Right? I mean, yeah, 14's a. How does dex saves work? Okay. Do they go up with your level? I don't know this in 5th edition, so. Or are they instant? Okay, so I would get too difficult to avoid then. I would give it something like a 12 or 13. Right? Something that, 40%, 35% of the people that are going to be average person will avoid it. 35 or 40% of the time, right? And that still makes them nasty enough for a third level party, right? It doesn't say if 5th edition even uses it, but how many are encountered at a time? Right? I mean, how big is it? Oh, medium. I mean, is it possible to encounter like 6 of these things all together in one big slime heap? Okay, sort of what other creatures would be around these things? Think vapor rats, maybe? Because that's another thing. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'd put, like I say, put their acid spit to avoid a 12, right? You know, avoid their exploding acid and poisonous gas on a 14. That means you'll get like probably 60% of most players with it, or 40%, I think, of most players with it. So, yeah. And they only encountered 1 or 2 of them together, so. Oh, you get a proficiency bonus too? Okay. How do you become proficient in ability? Is that a function of class or something? Or you mean an ability like skills like stealth and perception, like they've got? Ah, okay, that makes sense. Okay, and something that was really noted for agility would, like a monkey might have dex based on its race. Okay, that makes sense. So it means that your rogue is probably going to sort of avoid it. Oh, it's mainly race. Oh, okay. Okay, well, with those changes, I think that that's pretty good. Yeah, I like it. I'm reading the description there. That's really cool. And does that mean that a human is proficient in all uh, abilities? That's cool. Well, I like this one. Challenge rating 3 is vote right for it. Right. Have you tried putting it through D&D Beyond and seeing what they think of the challenge rating? It's cool, dude. Well, they got I'm given to understand, a really good challenge rating calculator for monsters and stuff. Unfortunately, they rate flight way too high on its thing, but with those changes, I think you've got the makings of a good creature here. And it's World Handball. I'll keep telling people you don't have to redeem your points for World Handball. You'll note up in the corner that way. That way. Right? There is a World Handball symbol. Hey, no worries, man. Anytime I can help, or anytime I can lend advice, or anytime I can just take a look at some of your cool stuff, I'm here. Yeah, 39,000 points. You come to one of our games and you can just ditch them off at 1,000 at a time, making the characters re-roll stuff. Wow. You're a devoted viewer, man. Thanks. We really appreciate it. I need to go to bed. Yeah, I'm sure we do. It's like 6 o'clock here, and you're in England, aren't you? Yeah. All right. So it's like 8 hours ahead of us there or something, and yeah. So it's like 3 o'clock in the morning or something when we stream. 2 o'clock in the morning, something like that. Yeah, for you. Oh, excuse me. Ah, okay. That makes sense. We've heard this already. Let's go on. So what happened to you last night, Nick? Kids get you? Or did Realm Strider get you? Uh-huh. Oh, thanks a lot there, DM Stretch. That's awesome. Second month in a row. Nice. Our second month subbed. Is that in a row? Did you sub last month? I guess you must have, because I don't think we could sub the month before that. So, well, we appreciate it, I tell you. It allows us to do some good stuff too, right? Like, because of all the subscriptions we got and everything like that, we were able to buy Siobhan the Writer a master guild pass for a year. Well, thanks for continuing it. We really appreciate it. Yeah, they got a special on master level guild passes at the moment as a gift. $66 American. That's less than $6 a month. Well, we've known Siobhan for years and years, eh? All right, I think that's the other thing, you know. And it was just getting to the point where, geez, girl, right? I'm not getting into her past her idea or like that and stuff, but she had some family problems at home, divorced with her wife over the transition, right? Well, her wife left her holding all the bills and left with the kid. Right? So now she's got all the mortgage to pay and she's got all the bills in the house to pay and she really got the crappy end of the stick on that one. But that's all I'm gonna say about that. I know it's awful. It's just bloody awful. Her ex is an awful person. I have no use for her. I don't wish her any luck, but I hope she gets like, I don't know, toxic shock syndrome or something from forgetting to change her tampon. Yeah, I'm amazed they make tampons that big, to be honest with you, because that woman is all C word. She's a 5.5 foot C word. Oh yeah, that's awesome, Nick. You were on late. Well, yeah, you guys are always up late, so yep. Manuscripts is awesome. You have manuscripts, don't you, Nick? I mean, you're a writer. I would hope you do. Oh yeah. I'm gonna put that to use during Nano for seriously. Just finished my gnomes article. You might, or if we get Siobhan on here, sometimes you might like to look at that. Yeah, yeah, I love World Anvil too. It's just a great program. And that's why, like, we pay for Inner Sanctum membership for Sable and Sage for me, right? So, it's not because we need it, it's because we love the program so much. Okay, well, I'll go back to FaceTime. Yeah, okay, I'll take another look there and see how it looks there. Oh, that's not there anymore. New link. Oh, you might want to think about it. All right, if it only has that one attack. Oh, nope, not there. Do you have it on bid again? Yeah, exactly. You're right. It can't do anything close combat. You can just spit things and they'll just beat it while it tries to spit things. There we go. Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah. Still think that their armor class might be a little high. 13? That gives them 4 points of natural armor and lose for bad decks. Strange. Yeah. Okay. You did not refresh. Well, it's not going there. Okay. That's fine. We'll get it later. Yeah, so I think you got a good creature there. I think that one's pretty awesome. All right. If my characters ever go into a sewer, I might steal it. Oh, take the whole fucking place apart. Falling on my bloody chair. Okay, well, I'm going to take a 5-minute break and take some medication. All right, and I'll be back in 5 to 10 minutes. Thank you for the permission to steal your great critter idea there, and I'll be back in 5 or 10. Oh, okay. I'm back. See, chat has not been happening. I'll let you know when you're back. Oh, I figure you can do that. So, what time is school there, Nick, for the kids? I hear you guys don't get up till about noon, so 1 o'clock until like 6. Okay, welcome back. How I think you can do that is give them a slam attack for one thing. Yeah, you start with the slam attack and you give them a grapple attack. The grapple attack allows them to attempt a grapple and on anyone that they successfully slam. Right? You don't give your slam attack a lot of reach, only about 5 feet on those things. Right? And that means it has to be close to you and it has to run into you, basically. And then it can attempt to engulf you. After its grapple attack, it does a certain amount of acid and probably poison damage every round, plus suffocation. Potential suffocation. I think you could probably get away with a con save for that. See if you can hold your breath long enough to get out. Right? Um, yeah. Yeah, 1 to 7, that's a standard school day. That's 6 hours. Like, I'd raise it probably to 4 if I gave them that attack. Yeah. Right. Um, I wouldn't raise anything else, so they're not going to hit very often with it because they don't have a great attack bonus. Yeah, see, that's the thing, Nick. I wish you were my dad when I was that age. Hey, Song, how you doing, hon? Because I was always a night owl, right? And they determined something like 68% of teenagers are. Like they operate better in the afternoon and evening. Right? Well, a lot of people never do grow out of it, Esong. Like that's just the way it is. It's just like children operate better in the morning, right? When they're really young, like below 8, right? And then it rapidly shifts between 8 and 11 to operating better in the afternoon, right? And then usually straightens out sometime around 25, but for some people it doesn't straighten out at all. Right. It's exactly it. See, Nick, my dad would have never had any problems with me either. Right? I probably would have gone to bed long before 4 o'clock in the morning, right? You know, if I were allowed to do what I wanted to until 3 o'clock in the morning. Uh, if I didn't have to go to school till 1 and my dad said that I could stay up until 3, I'd probably go to bed at about 1 because I'd have you done everything I wanted to do by then. And contrary to popular belief, I really appreciate sleep. So how is Esong today? Okay, hybrid classes. You got a few students in your class, and you got a few on uh, um, video. Only taught in person today, getting ready for everything tomorrow. Okay, how many students? If you don't mind my asking these questions, that is. Yeah, that's none of your business. Okay. Oh, I wish Diane were here. I wish Sable were here. she would have busted a gut right there, Esong, right? Because I actually did start and run a cult for a while. I never believed in it. I'm a psychopath, so it seemed like a good idea, right? Okay, the biggest thing you have to understand about cults is cults prey upon fears, right? Usually it's the fear of death, right? They promise something better than death. So in adding the right person, yeah. Oh, in asking the right person, yes. Yes, you asked the right person. I know all about starting a cult. I started a cult. I had people buying me cars and paying my rent and stuff like that. Right? But remember that the thing about cults is that you gotta find something to unite them, right? So the cult leader promises something to the cultists, something that they can't get normally, right? No matter what that is, it usually it's a spiritual thing, or it should be a spiritual thing, but um, something that they convince them that they cannot otherwise get except through the cult leader, right? Uh, right? You could, by that token, you could have said that it, in the time period before it became such a stigmatized word, it was called the Christ cult, right? Because Christ was a messianic figure on earth and promised things to people that they couldn't otherwise get, right? The difference is that there's a cult uh, guide, I'd say, an FBI cult guide, which says basically you look up these things, how isolated does it make people, how, you know, how much do they want you to stop talking to other people and stuff like that, or how much removed from your family are you, and stuff like that, right? These are all the modern cult stuff. But I'm here to tell you that cults are much more than that, right? Like, we're not talking Moonies where they take everybody out into the back of beyond and feed them all uh, banana juice, right? And Kool-Aid made with potato water, right? And then convince them that, they are a messiah, right? Or are you? Are you talking about that kind of cult? Or whether you have a messianic figure, David Koresh or something like that, who has convinced them that he can offer them eternal life or something. Miles says grapple attack. Most great cats. Gorillas. Eternal peace, sure. He offers them eternal peace, and they get it. Okay, how do they get eternal peace with him? You know, what's the Tharisden? Like the guy from Forgotten Realms? Yeah, okay. Right. Well, now if I'm correct, and I could be wrong here, Tharzadun was part of the Red Wizards of Thay. sure you meant Google. Yes, that's the other thing you have to ask yourself. Right? Does the leader believe in the cult, or is it a ruse for them to get things out of the people? Right? And right, that's the difference between like the Red Wizards of Thay. The guys that run that thing believe in it. Okay, so right, at least it's an honest cult then. I wasn't, by the way. No, right? Um, right? But yeah, now you've got to ask yourselves, how isolated does he want his cultists? Does he want them isolated from their families or from their friends? Right? The problem with being a cult is that usually it's illegal. Hi, Dazzlecat. Okay, we'll run up for cult leader. Run up for cult leader. Thank you. Death Doomer Garsharkov. Good name. Immediately gives me an image. He's obviously an underwater guy. Okay, 40 years ago, Garsharkov captained the Nearwind across the traditional trade route to Port Tarvin. Need to put a location thing in here after Port Tarvin. Though a capable captain, he missed the meager warnings of white-capped waves and broken water before being caught in a white squall. Nice. The Nearwind splintered under the violent cloudless storm, sending crew and cargo to the depths of the sea. Gar woke to a mouthful of salt and sand, alone but alive. He spent hours stumbling on the calm shores, staggering from exhaustion and guilt before stumbling on a smooth granite rock. Clinging to this fragment, he wandered across the rocky shoreline before stumbling on a vine-encrusted temple. He spent the next several days uncovering faded sacred symbols, barbed hypnotic scrolls etched into the deepest recesses throughout the building. A similar etching on the granite stone pulsed with each discovery, slowly replacing his crippling grief with dark, soothing comfort. Over the next 40 years, led by the gentle whisperings of the stone, Gar grew in knowledge and strength, searching for connections to the secret revealed. You missed an A. Through dreams. He bartered for supplies from traveling caravans, alternating between his need for food and his growing need to be near the building. He lured in weary travelers, the lost, alone, and forsaken, speaking to their desires and for belonging and peace. He started preaching the dark promises of the Elder One. Okay, dreams. Gar receives no direct communication from with the order, no, with other orders of the Elder One. Okay. He received direction from various levels of clarity through dreams. He received direction of various levels of clarity through dreams. Oh, okay. It's a complicated sentence. Right. They started out as vague impressions of belonging and comforting darkness. Recently, a haze, obscured face draped in dark shadow has started to appear. The only distinguishable feature being a deep rune and black hand, which reaches out towards him, grasping, beckoning. In response to this call, Garsharkoth has ordered the construction of a ziggurat in the temple's basement. He hopes to be able to bridge the gap between him and the Elder One. Okay. Light must be extinguished, order must vanish, and minds must shatter. Only through this can there be true peace. I agree. Soul shards. The followers of Sharkoth order of the Elder One, the Sharkoth order of the Elder One, covertly comb the neighboring kingdoms, searching for a soul shard connected to elemental deity. These shards, scattered by the other gods during the planar shifts of formation, keep the Elder One bound and chained. This imprisonment limits the destruction and reach of Elder One. He constantly yearns for the freedom to release complete destruction, to purge the corruptions, impurities, and pains that plague all mortality. Hierarchy. There are no formal hierarchical terms within the cult, though many refer to Garsharkoth as a death dreamer. There are, however, circles within the order. Circle members do not know each other, as cult members attend each meeting in hooded black robes and cloth covering the lower halves of their faces. Circle members identify themselves through similar experiences known as callings, and in rare cases shared dreams. None have tried to remove Garsharkoth from his position, and within the order he is treated with deference and respect. No one outside the order has seen him in several years. Ooh. Creepy dude. I like him. Thanks, Brosa. You're amazing too, my friend. Okay, starting to realize, have you ever dealt with Moonies? You saw them? I mean, they're not common anymore, but they still are around. Moonies, the followers of Reverend Sun Young Moon. Huh. Well, they used to be along. You find them especially around the West Coast, right? Around. Yeah, there are some interesting documentaries about them. Hotel California was written about them by the Eagles, right? But they used to be all over the West Coast, right? And the big thing was that they were in airports like Hare Krishnas, right? And they would, you know, literally approach you with a flower and say, "Have you heard of the teachings of Reverend Sun Young Moon?" Right? And eventually it got out that they were like being brainwashed, right? Like literal brainwashing. And I could tell you how that's done if you really want to know. Right. Not that I think anybody here is going to go out and brainwash anybody, but yeah. Okay. You start by feeding them a high potassium, low um, protein diet. Okay. You get your followers to a place, a camp. You go, come for a camp out. All food and stuff is provided. You make it a vegetarian camp out. That's the first thing that gives you the way to get out protein out of them, right? And you do a lot of things with bananas, and you do a lot of things with potatoes, stuff like that, right? And so after about a weekend, a couple days, 2 3 days, you become really susceptible to suggestion after eating that diet, right? And so then you start in on the real stuff of the cult, right? As over the course of the weekend, more and more into it, right? And then they, as you've brainwashed them over the course of the weekend, become more and more into it too, because they gain less and less ability to rationalize. High potassium does that to you. It messes up your ability to rationalize, right? It's also why they choose young people generally, between the ages of 18 and 24, because your forebrain hasn't developed yet, right? Your forebrain is what gives you forethought. That's why they call it forethought, right? It's the one that allows you to think around corners, to go, if I do this, this might happen, right? That doesn't finish developing until you're about 25, right? So they get people between 18 and 24 because they're A, adults, and B, not fully developed yet, right? So that's the big thing, right? Get them on a high potassium, low protein diet, makes them susceptible. Yeah, I agree with you on name only. I don't believe anybody's an adult till really almost 30. Right? They say 30 is the new 20. I'm like, yeah, 30's always been the 20. You just expect it out of 10-year-olds. Right? Yeah. Right. Well, that's what I mean. Honestly, Esong, you got married when you were what, 21? Yeah. What did you know about marriage and stuff then? Nothing. Right? And I've heard your story. Oh, Kahuna is raiding with a party 3. Aloha, Kahuna. Right? I've heard your story, Isong, where you tell me about all the stuff that you didn't want to do that you just did, right? How many of us have that story, right? I've been together with Sable since I was 24 and she was 20 even, right? We knew nothing then. Nothing. Right? I have a son that's old enough that if Sable had given birth to him, she'd have been 16 at the time. Okay, DM Stretch gives a giving out a clip of his game last night, playing Silent Hill and talking about it, I guess. Right? So Yeah, Barbarossa, I agree, right? You're 27, you don't feel like an adult. You're barely getting there. Like I said, your forebrain just finished developing 2 years ago, you know? So you've only had full use of your facilities for 2 years, right? Approximately. Some people develop earlier, some a little later, right? Not much. It's not like you're going to find somebody who develops all their forebrain by the time they're 18. Just doesn't happen, right? But it's fairly accurate enough that they can gauge your age of adulthood by how much your forebrain is developed. Still waiting for mine to develop. Yeah, mine never did. I ended up with a tilt and it just did some funky stuff on me. Well, fuck Barbarossa. The fact of the matter is, bud, you weren't an adult, right? Like, yeah. Well, you come talk to me, buddy. Any suggestion for a hierarchy of structure? Yes. Basically, you've got to have a hierarchy where people go through. Well, honestly, to be honest with you, Christian churches and such are done up very cult style, or rather, cults like to adopt in church styles is more of a thing. So you'll have things like deacons and elders and priests and nuns and stuff like that in there often, right? Whatever is the hierarchy of the local majority religion will be mimicked in some way by the cult because it's easier to get people to understand something they grew up with, right? Um, a Hindu cult is not going to do well in Quebec City, right? There aren't a lot of Hindus in Quebec City, right? Yeah, I agree with you, Nick. I have too. Had a lot more feel like an adult man since past 37. Right? Yeah, yeah. If the majority religion around there mimics Catholicism, right? Which wouldn't surprise me, right? Um, then yeah, mimic some Catholicism. Get some deacon there. Get some, sub priests, some cardinals, stuff like that, right? And you know, since they all meet hooded and robed, a cardinal meets in a red robe, with a hood on, and a deacon in a white robe. Hey, Laura, thanks for the raid. Rawr, rawr, rawr. Yeah. So as I was saying there, Esau, yeah, distort the major religion. Hey, Gon. Hey, Dasley. Hey, Laura. Hey, Secondhand Samurai. Hey, Stretch. Talk to you in like what, 5 minutes? Hey, Song. for those of you just joining us, we're looking at D-Song's article here and discussing cults, which seemed the right person because I've actually started a cult. Jerry, how you doing? That's what game you playing tonight. I'd have to dedicate a whole stream to it. But that reminds me, speaking of dedicating a stream to it, next Friday we are doing the Sickeningly Hot Chocolate Challenge, right, on my stream. And I've got those white lightning bars, and Sable has got, well, she can't have milk, right? She's really deathly allergic to it, right? So she's got a dark chocolate bar made with ghost peppers, and we're going to eat them on stream. Nice. World Anvil is probably one of the best tools. Are you using Foundry yet there, Jerry? Right? It's really quite cool. Yeah, I'm sure you will. The worst part about it is that I have dentures. So I'm worried about getting that stuff between my denture and my gum. Yeah, if I were you, I would let the Roll20 subs expire and spend the 50 on Foundry. It is way better. It's better supported. Time to super polygrip it, yeah. All right, second hand, you have a good night, eh? Yeah, I was just checking out the World Animal Incorporation today for Pathfinder, right? Well, it's any system because right now it just imports your articles, literally whole hawk from there. You just imports a list of your articles, and you say, well, I want this article and that article and that article, and you tell it whether or not you want it available to your players or just to you or what level of player that they are, because it's different levels of player. Oh, okay. Esong's got another question for me. Last week, my session ended with my players trying to sneak into a council member's locked office door to find evidence of smuggling. It rolled a not one while investigating and caused a loud sound to echo. Rolled a not one while investigating and will cause a loud sound to echo through the mansion during a party which they are the guests of. Tonight's session started with the council member coming up to the office and potentially finding him there. Realistically, I think the only option is for them to be quietly removed from the house. Not sure what to do after, though. They're the guests of honor at a party that's being thrown in this house. Huh. Did they find evidence of his smuggling in there? Yep, absolutely, Aegon. That's exactly the case as far as Foundry goes. All right. Yeah, I would do that. Exactly what Aegon says. Give them 10 rounds. So you guys got 10 rounds to figure out how to get out of here, or you're going to be caught. And did they find the evidence? No, you said not yet, right? You know, or you might want to be a little bit more thorough than that. Give them like 3 rounds to figure out how to get out of there, or come up with a story because they can't leave through the door they came through. He's outside of it. You know, you could give him a couple of minutes to get out of there by having him run into somebody in the hallway right outside the door and start talking. They're going to hear him out there, and they're going to know that sooner or later he's going to turn that knob and come in here, right? So, right. And if they don't out, he could blackmail them. I don't know how clean he really is, right? When it comes to all this corruption going on around him, but he could blackmail the characters like, what were you doing in my office? If you don't do what I say, I'm going to tell everybody that you were breaking in and trying to steal things. Right. What is he smuggling? Is he the one that's smuggling weapons? Yeah, good face type character, yeah. And they haven't found evidence of that in his office, so they got nothing to hold up against him, right? Then he's going to look like they're breaking in and stealing crap, right? Then it's a good possible chance for either one to blackmail. If they've got evidence that he's uh, stealing stuff from the town and fencing it, then they can have blackmail on him. If he's got them red-handed in his office with their hand in the bloody safe, then he's got for it. You know, which leads to all sorts of possibilities. Yeah, leads to all sorts of possibilities because um, they can end up in way over their heads, especially if they do something like try and kill him after he blackmails them, right? Yeah. Let the players guide it. Yep. You know, give them some sort of option to get out of it. Right? You don't have to tell them what the option is, but you should have something in mind that says, yes, you could have got out of it if you did this. Right? You know, if you got a female character in there that's, you know, attractive, she could, like, everyone else could hide in the office and she could, you know, display some cleavage. Right? The guy comes in, she's like, "What are you doing in here?" "Oh, I'm waiting for you." Right? I should ask, first of all, you're all adults playing in this game, right? Like, you aren't playing with your, like, nephew or something who's like 12. No, you're not all adults? Oh, okay. Okay, because skip anything I said about sexuality and crap like that if you got kids playing, but just you that act like it, right? Get bored of this music now. More music, music. CD tab. What do you got there? Drunken part. That's it. Wow, that's loud and obnoxious. Fuck that. Crack my music. Was that? Loud. That's crap. Water. Music. I still have. Yeah. Okay. Well, that is exactly what I'm here for. Esong is to help everybody with their game stuff. Of course, you had to finish school first before you could come help on your game. Like I said to, I think it was Stretch earlier, you can't multitask. It's not possible. Our brains can't do it. You just end up doing two things at less than 50% capacity on each. Okay, I can hear you there. What the fuck is up with that? That sounds like shit. Enough of that crap. I'll try to travel. Meditative harp. Happy birdies. Okay, there. Nice. Geez, you think? Whatever controls that out there is going, hey, look, I just put a plague on the planet, you fools. What are you doing? Separating the good people from the stupid people. And the people that have no choice. Yeah, that's what I was talking about, Esau. There's a lot of teachers like you out there that just don't have a choice, right? You know, they can't afford to just say, screw you, I'm not coming. Hey, Bob, you waving because you're back? I thought you were here earlier. Uh, I must be crazy. Okay. Tell your wife I'm happy to answer any questions she might have. Oh, rest assured I don't do that now. Okay? I was young and sort of full of something. Oh, yeah. Always great to have two of them in your class. They feed off each other, you know. Are they just overstimulated kids, basically? Like, what grades are they talking about here? Yeah, COVID quarantines made them rusty. Yeah. So, what grades are we talking about, Esong? Sable just got. Anybody? Jack got quiet all of a sudden. Okay. You know, I have not looked at the NPC creature stat box for Pathfinder 2 yet, Bob. Um, I could at any time, I suppose. I do have it. Yeah, you think, eh? We did a good job on that. I'll take a look later. I don't know my sound. Start loading some of your NPCs into which foundry? Oh yeah, okay. On world. Yeah, so that's in world handle there, Bob. If so, throw one up on the screen and we'll take a look at it in chat here. See. Well, they'll probably have that set up in a couple of weeks if they do. Okay. Huh. There's a lot. There we go. Okay, I'm back. How long was I down for? I'm back. Good. Here we go. Amathea the Dryad. Good name. Did you take that actually from the names of the Dryads, or Amathea is one of the greater Dryads living in the Feywood, each tending to a portion of the vast forest. She is one of the circle of greater nymphs that lead and protect the rest of the Fey within the Feywood. While the circle is technically an association of equals, more often than not, the other nymphs look to Amalthea for wise counsel. This is especially true in troubling times. Dryads within. I'm not sure what you meant there. Right. Okay. All right. Yeah. As the de facto leader of the Fae and the Feywood, Amalthea has some communication with the many more powerful Dark Fae, the Gremlins, and also inhabit. Many of the more powerful Dark Fae, the Gremlins, that also inhabit the forest. Amalthea watches over these too, for she remembers the times the gods twisted and polluted her kin into these forms. Tree dependent. A dryad is mystically bonded to a single great tree and must remain within 300 feet of it. She moves beyond the ground, she becomes sickened. Sickened 1? Oh, okay, and is unable to recover. Okay. She must attempt a DC 1840 save every hour, increase the sickened value by 1 to a maximum of 4 after 24 hours. She becomes drained 1, and this value increasing 1 for every additional 24 hours. Dryad can perform a 24-hour ritual to bond herself to a new tree. Okay. Super good at what they do. Tough creature. That's pretty awesome. That's tough critter. Wow. Greater Dryad, eh? Making the move to Pathfinder 2, but in the meantime, I still have to get the books. I've only got the first 3 or something. Right? I think I've got the main core rulebook, the bestiary, and the player's guide or something. Yeah. Yeah, they didn't make Dryads anything that you want to screw with in Pathfinder 2, I see. Yeah, I already thanked him there, Sable. But yeah, you should too. Well, yeah, I imagine so. Greater dryads are like the nymphs of Greek legend, right? They hung around with gods. You know, right? Uh, yeah, it is really cool in the stat block view. It's very nice. You know, let's go back to it here. What I don't see is they don't have a room here for hit dice anywhere. They not use that in Pathfinder 2. Nice. Thank you. I'm sure the community will really appreciate that. Did your picture come from Artbreeder? Oh yeah, so there. You misspelled your own name here unless you want it to be Die. No, sorry, Bob. Ah, okay. Right. Okay. Oh yeah, Artbreeder is the coolest. So I got pictures from Artbreeder. Where am I? These pictures I did with Art Reader. So you have to change your rank on here. Sable, I put your rank in wrong and now I can't change it. Oh, that's cool there, Bob. No, I meant when I said Dinosaur Bob, you have a D and a capital I. Yeah, Sable made elves on Art Breeder. I made part elf, part uh, orc on Art Breeder. Yeah, I just re-imported it back into Art Breeder and it kept the long ears. Yeah, we've done that too. I did a few of my goblins together to come up with their kids. You want to see my goblins? Got a couple of them. New breed. Did I change all these pictures over yet? No, I didn't change these pictures. There's one I did there. A green skin goblin girl. Oh, where did you have that in an image title? Yeah, yeah. Right here under Amathea the Druid picture. This is by Dinosaur Bob Art Reader. Catch that? Part I highlighted underneath the picture. Portrait of a Minotaur NPC. Yeah, good luck with that. I just have lots of pictures of Minotaurs. Well, Taurens mostly from World of Warcraft, but including some very unique ones. Very unique. Okay, so we got 8 minutes left of the stream here. Does anybody else have an article they want to share, or something they want to display, or a question to ask? Or I mean, I think the stream's gone pretty good so far. That's me knocking on wood. Only one little hiccup and came back on its own. I have a Minotaur PC that I play. His name's Thorvoric Blood Reaver. He's a druid. Okay. Well, who are we raiding, folks? Okay, we got Kahuna and us. That's it. So we're gonna raid Kahuna, folks. Seems to be up after Kahuna's stream, eh? What time? I don't have my thing open. I don't think. Oh, wait a minute. What's this? Have a light stream recorder out. Yes, it's open. Tuesday. Tuesday. Kahuna Help is on right after me. And then there's an hour free in there. This one. Oh, the S one, yeah. Yeah, so we got an hour between them. I don't know what we're gonna do. Oh, bye, Macaro. You have a good night, man. All right. Tell your wife if she ever wants me to tell her about running a cult. I'll do that for her. Hey, that'd be cool, Stretch. Okay, so from here we're gonna raid. Okay, last chance if you want to ask me something or display something. How tired you feel in an hour? Yeah, well, it is midnight where you are, isn't it? Or 1 a.m.? Yeah. Yeah. All right, Isong. See you later, hun. And thanks for coming on, and hope we were helpful to your game later. And hit me up if you need any more information or you want to make your cult leader truly evil or something. Okay. And so we shall raid. We shall raid. We shall raid. Okay, we are off to raid. Thank you guys for coming to the stream. It's been great. You can catch Sable tomorrow at the same time doing Sable Rights. Well, Diane Rights, right? You'll catch me on Friday, and you'll catch Sable on Friday. We'll be eating Deathly Chocolate, right? And then you'll catch Sable again on Sunday, right, for world building, and then you'll catch us again on Monday. So have a good one, and we'll see you next time. Remember, our raid shout is prepare to be boarded. What? He's not up yet.